You want me to? All right, can everyone hear me okay? Let's see here.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, Eileen, can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear us okay?
Yes,
Okay.
there we go. I had to take. Right. I had to
Right.
take the cat down because otherwise it sits on the back of my head up here.
We are now recording.
Six.
Okay.
We have 5. Oh, Julie's on.
Oh, yeah, now you just yours on.
Sweet.
Okay, just a few more seconds. All right. Good evening. The December 11th, 2025 Whatcom County Planning Commission meeting is called to order. I'll call the roll. Kelvin Barton, that's me. I'm here. Red Brown. Red, I see you there.
He's here. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yes.
I see his
Daniel
name.
Dunn.
Turn the microphone on.
Ah, there we are. Thank you. Sunita Eisenberg. Sunita Eisenberg. Nicholas Greif.
Here.
Jim Hansen. Jim Hansen. Julie Jefferson.
Here.
Dominic Masseri.
Here.
Scott Van Dalen.
Here.
Okay. Please join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, it is time for department update. And Director Personius, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just be real quick. Council approved, codes, no, the ADU amendments and the co-living amendments that you guys made recommendations on. They approved those with some changes, this week. So we got those in and done before, December 31st. Thank you for that. Just a quick update for you. Next week, we got, remember, Tuesday, the 16th, we'll be hearing work session on chapter 2 land use. And next Thursday, the 18th, public hearing and work session on chapter 3 housing. Those packets are in the mail and delivered to you, will be delivered to you. And that will conclude all of our individual elements. Then we will have the follow-up meetings in January, and we're working with staff to figure out what makes sense to collate all that stuff. We'll need some time with the holidays. It's always a challenge. And then figure out the timing of when to hold your work sessions and follow-up work sessions and final hearing in January. The goal is to finish that in January before the new planning commission members would sit in February. So that's all I have. And I may have to about at 7 o'clock for emergency management team meeting on flooding stuff. We've been very busy with that all day. And a lot of stuff going on with that. So otherwise, tonight we've got a public hearing on a minor code amendment for Lummi Island that we need to get passed to move a permit forward that Lucas Clark will guide you through. And then we've got all of the glossaries to the comp plan, the appendices, the glossary, bibliography, the 20-year capital facilities plan, the 7-year CIP. And then last thing on the agenda is to finish up the chapter 10 motions from a couple of meetings ago. So.
Okay, go ahead.
Sounds good.
Okay. Time now for open session for public comment. Eileen, Planning Commission Coordinator, would you take over, please?
Yes. Welcome to the meeting. The meeting is being broadcast live and will be uploaded to the website. We have no attendees in the room, so I'll move to those attending online. If you wish to speak at this time, you'll be given 3 minutes. You may speak on anything besides what is going up for a public hearing. There will be another comment session for that. So if you want to speak on Lummi or the appendices, you can do so during those public hearings. So if you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand. If you are tuning in via phone, press *6. Otherwise, press the hand icon to speak. Chair, seeing no hands raised for the open session.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. And time for commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments? Go ahead, Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, I just want to say I think it's a little inappropriate that we didn't cancel this meeting with everything that's going on with the flooding, especially since we have public hearings. Obviously, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to make it here. So I just think it was inappropriate to do this while we have an active natural disaster going on.
I agree.
Wow.
Right. Any other commissioner comments? Commissioner Brown.
Yeah, I would support Dominic on what he just said.
I also.
Well, well, I worked hard to be here, so I'm staying.
So, okay.
The concern, the work of the county doesn't stop. It's a very natural hazard, so. that's why we invited all you guys to attend remotely as well, so we didn't put anybody in harm's way, so. But thank you for the comment.
Commissioner Brown.
Yeah, and Director Personas, I don't want my comment to be in any way a criticism of you or the staff. That's not the intent. So,
Right. Kelvin, just a note, Commissioner Hanson is now here.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Kelvin, I've got a comment. I'm trying to wave my hand, but the little owl thing isn't seeing me, so.
Oh, okay, well, go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
Yeah, I would agree with Dominic and Rudd that the flooding is clearly happening, impacting a lot of people. I think it gives extra gravity to our work. And because the decision really here help the county council decide where people will live and whether that's people can choose to live in harm's way or not, or whether we allow that or not. That's a big part of what we do as part of our work here. So yeah, I hope that everybody's family is safe, everybody stays safe and gets out of the way of the floods. And I think it's also interesting to note that this may be our second 100-year flood in 5 years, depending on how you count in 40 years.
Or 4.
Yeah. So things to think about as we move forward with the plan. And then also I had later news. I had a talk with Bill Geyer on Friday at the meeting, and he told me more about his project. And I told him what I thought was appropriate, inappropriate behavior at a meeting. And so I just wanted to kind of re-go over our bylaws, section Article 4, section E4. Any person making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous while attending a commission meeting may be requested to leave the meeting and may be forthwith by the presiding officer barred from further audience before the commission during that meeting. I don't know if that would be appropriate during that time, but I just want to remind us that if in the future we have situations where we feel like it's out of hand, that's always an option.
Okay, Commissioner Hanson.
Well, kind of follow up on that comment now, Commissioner Barton, I think you're doing a fabulous job as chair, but I think sometimes you're too nice. And I think we can help short circuit confrontations if we don't allow dialoguing where either people in the audience or commissioners respond back and forth in a serial fashion. And I think that's bad for process, and it would encourages conflict. And I think it'd be better if someone raised their hand and say what they have to say, and then we go on to the next person.
Okay, I hear you. I'll do the best I can. Okay, any other commissioner comments? All right, approval of minutes for the November 20th, 2025 meeting.
I move approval.
I can second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
yes,
Mosseri,
Yes.
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
yes,
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
passes.
Okay, so now we have a public hearing and a work session. And I think Lucas Clark, you are going to take over for this?
Yes. Give me 1 second to share my screen here. All right. Good evening, Planning Commission members. I just have a short little preamble on this minor code amendment to Rural Residential Island District, or Lummi Island. This code change will allow food preparation for off-site consumption when accessory to and located within an approved community center as conditional use. Lummi Island is a unique district with geographic barriers to food affordability and accessibility. The Gathering Place has requested a code update to add off-site food prep as a conditional use. They currently use a kitchen for community center events and for preparing meals on wheels. For outside food service retailers to be allowed to use their kitchen, they would need this code update. One of the main challenges to citing prep kitchens, a common term for offsite commercial kitchens that are exclusively used for food prep, is the lack of a public sewer system on Lummi. Typically, all users have septic systems there. Restaurant uses are hard on septic systems, and this has created challenges when siting restaurants and commercial kitchens on Lummi Island. The gathering place has a new modern septic system that can support the commercial kitchen use, and this amendment will allow them to rent out their kitchen for other restaurants and offsite use. That's all I have on that. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Commissioner Greif?
Yeah, a couple questions. So when it says in the code amendment, food preparation for offsite consumption, does that preclude on-site consumption? So the idea is you would not be able to eat food in the community center? I'm just trying to understand the exact use they're looking to do or what they're currently doing with, if they already have a kitchen.
So they currently already have a kitchen there, and they use that kitchen for on-site preparation and for on-site events. They also use it for preparing meals on wheels. However, they need it to be allowed to use for off-site retail services. So the community center aspect of it allows it to be used for, for them now, but they can't use it for commercial purposes like a food truck or the Galley, which is a local restaurant, wants to use it as an offsite kitchen. So they can actually rent out their kitchen with this code change to other users. But there won't be those other users won't be selling their food on site necessarily.
Okay. Are there any other clarifying questions before we have a public hearing?
Oh, sorry. We can have the public hearing first.
Well, and I took that as kind of a clarifying question,
Yeah.
what you asked, and those are just so that we all have a solid grasp of what this code amendment would do. So, Eileen, a public hearing I'll open the public hearing and I'll let you take over. So, go ahead, Eileen.
Thank you, Chair. Just as a reminder, this will be recorded and uploaded to the website. This hearing is for the Rural Residential Island Code Amendment. If you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand. There are no guests in the room, so I'll move to the attendees. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Press the hand icon if you wish to speak. If you are tuning in via phone, press *6. Seeing no hands raised, Chair.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing. And it's time for a work session.
Point of order. There was
Go ahead.
attendees online that had their hands up.
Oh, okay, now they did. Okay. They didn't have it. Rihanna and Simon, do you wish to speak at this time?
Yes, sorry, we couldn't see ourselves on the screen, so we weren't sure if we had logged in correctly. But Simon and I are the proprietors of the Galley on the island, and we do rely on the commercial kitchen at the gathering place to support our business entirely. And our understanding was that this amendment came to light a little bit in part of our application with the health department and the zoning committee so that we could start our business last summer. And just to speak briefly on the island in general, due to the septic restrictions, due to the zoning restrictions, it's a little bit of a food desert out here. For a very long time, we've had only one restaurant that operates 4 days a week, a very limited capacity. So Simon and I are both lifelong islanders, born and raised here, saw sort of a need here to fill in we do a sort of casual lunch offering that serves a lot of people on the island of like a broad economic spectrum. It's not just for tourists to come and have a high-end dining meal, but more of a day-to-day offering. Anyway, there are several other businesses that also rely on it, and it has really sort of bolstered the island economy as well as, offering things to both residents and visitors. So we're here just to sort of stand up and just say how important this is to the community. And, the gathering place really, their intention, I believe, from the beginning and all of their fundraising and all of the permitting and stuff, I think there was maybe a clerical oversight in the designation between a commissary kitchen and a commercial kitchen for their purposes. And, we've only been in business a very short time, but it's had a really positive impact on the community and just giving another option. So, I think that's all I can really say about
Yeah.
that. I'll let Simon speak to that a little bit. Our business wouldn't be possible and the island wouldn't have this option if it weren't for that kitchen that is available at the gathering place.
Yeah, and so we've been fortunate when we applied through the health department, we were moving forward and were able to open, and the planning department was agreeable. And for any future use, they are going to need this zoning changed. It's not just us it impacts, it's also our only coffee trailer, our fish and chips truck. So there's Box, the Salish Sea Center, and the Ghost Kitchen that also rely on the Gathering Place kitchen. And really out here, that's all we have. And the community is rejoicing in these options now, which were lacking for years. And so, yeah, it's vital to our community to make this, accessible for everyone. And there's many more island businesses that would like to take part in use of the kitchen, which at this point is still very underused
Yeah.
in terms of their septic capacity. It's well under the threshold. And yeah, I hope that you agree.
We see the timer ticking down, but thank you for hearing us. Sorry for the technical difficulties leading up to it, but yeah. Appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else attending online wish to speak at this time?
Okay.
I see no other hands, Chair.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, and it's time for a work session on this one. Go ahead, Commissioner Hanson.
I move that we adopt code amendment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, and I think I heard a second there.
Commissioner Dunn.
Commissioner Greif.
Yeah, since the motion's on the table, I guess a question I have for staff is why we wouldn't add restaurants as a conditional use while we're making this code amendment. If another organization or one of the organizations that's discussed this request now at some point in the future wants to install an appropriate septic system and have a restaurant, my understanding is the current uses in the chapter would not allow that. So I'm just wondering if you could speak to that.
I can speak to it a little bit. This code change was tailored pretty specifically to the gathering place. That location where it's at has some of the best, possibly the best soils on the island. So it's really, so far, the only place that's been explored that that has a septic could support a commercial kitchen, is my understanding. So while that's possible, I think that if that was the case, we should probably look at that when someone else looks at applying a restaurant and the infrastructure is already in place, because this is pretty specific to this septic system that can support it.
Hey, just to continue on that, could be by definition, this being a conditional use section, not a approved use, by right, like, doesn't that kind of address that? Like, aren't you gonna have to, if it's a conditional use, if someone comes in and says only to a restaurant, planning would have the authority to say you can or cannot based on whatever criteria you put out?
Well, that's outside the scope of this proposal, right? Outside the scope of the SEPA that was done for this proposal, what was advertised for this public hearing. So if planning commission wanted to suggest, promote to staff that we docket that for a future amendment, happy to do it.
And I may, I just wanna understand whether or not I'm wrong about my
No, that's
question about.
something that just needs more public, right? Public needs to be aware that that's a proposal.
No disagreement, but I guess what I'm trying to get to is, it sounds like it would still, because it's under conditional use, it would make it easier for someone to try to do a restaurant if they wanted to, and if they can meet whatever conditional use conditions planning put in place. So I just want to make sure I'm correct before I then direct planning to do that, because I do think the community has made a great point. Having really enjoyed my time on Lovey Island, there is a serious need for both islanders and anyone who wants to spend some of their time within Whatcom County on the island. So I think it's something that should be looked at further and not just in a narrow way. I'm happy to approve the narrow way right now. I'm in full support, and it's not really my concern. But want to understand if there was things I was missing before directing staff to say that we should docket that for future.
Just to be clear, you don't direct staff, you request staff. to do something. So just to be clear.
Sure.
That's what Sat Paul says too.
Calvin, the owl doesn't like me tonight, so I just do my thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think in general, when I look at this, yeah, I think it would make sense to have like to say we allow restaurants on the island, but you have to meet these criteria, one of which is you have to have a septic that works for it. And that's gonna eliminate a lot of locations, but if it makes it, I think feel like it makes it easier that way, rather than to say you can't have any restaurants. Oh, we have one that we found somebody with septic, okay, now you gotta go through a hearing, da, 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 that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I would request that you want to make a motion to request or the motion to request the
Let's deal
staff?
with this
Well,
motion.
deal with the motion.
Stick with the-
we-
Yeah.
we got- we have multiple people talking at the same time, and so, and I hear that there's at least some consensus for actually adding to the code. But why don't we address this one? It's on the topic, and then maybe we can, in a second motion of asking staff if they would come back with some additional language. Commissioner Hanson.
I'd like to move the question.
Okay. Eileen, we have a motion and a second.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Would Commissioner Hanson has called for the question. And would you go ahead and call the roll, please?
Jefferson,
Yes.
Losari,
Yes.
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
It passes.
Good, cut off that discussion.
Okay. And so next we have the 2000, sorry, I can't read it. 25 comprehensive plan appendices. And this
No,
is adding,
So
I think-
point of information, we don't. That was just the motion to bring this to a vote.
okay, I'm
So now
sorry.
now we have to vote on the main motion, and then we're still on the general topic, because I know we want to have a motion to request staff.
Okay,
I was wondering about that when I read it on the slide.
go ahead, because let's see if I can get my volume up here a little bit. We're up.
No, we can hear you.
I think he's saying
Okay.
he can. Us.
Oh, okay.
So this
Yeah.
is for the motion now, Chair.
Okay,
Losari,
Yes.
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
Yes.
Barton.
yes,
It passes.
okay. All right, now let's move on to the next one.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, since while we're still on Lummi Island, before we move on.
Okay,
So I'd like to move to request staff, to review and, if, it seems advisable, bring back to this body, a amendment to the Lummi Island conditional uses section that would add restaurants as a conditional use, permitted conditional use.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
Yes.
Losari,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Passes.
Things moving along.
Okay, now let's, is there anything else before we move on to the 2025 comprehensive plan appendices? Okay. So Lucas and Maddie, take over.
Great. Since Lucas did the last one, I'm going to do this one. So good evening, Maddie Schott, Whatcom County Planning Department. We have quite a few appendices for the Planning Commission, which is exciting. We're getting near the end of the comp plan process. We did receive a number of potential amendments. So I'm happy to pull those up. But really in the memo that we provided to you, we listed every single change that we are proposing. There's quite a lot since the last update was in 2016. So we're happy to go over the amendments, or if there's any questions you have that are general, we can go over those now. So yeah, just let us know how you like to proceed.
Okay. So, Maddie, I'll just start out. I have one piece on here I had a question about, and it is, let's see, paratransit, and it's appendix A, and it's page 812. And
let me pull up let me share my screen 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see that all right?
There we go. It needs to blow up slightly, but outside of that, it's very good. So I'm looking at down the paratransit paragraph.
Okay.
And I don't know if we need a motion for this or not, but my field of my career was public transportation. I have 34 years in it. I ended as a program manager, and I would recommend on that second line where it says and their attendance. So the definition paratransit means arrangements in which people with special transportation needs and their attendants are transported by modes identified within RCW, and I won't quote the RCW, on that their attendance, that could be confusing to people that are not familiar with paratransit and disabled people. And I had 2 words to put on and their attendance, if any, to go right in there after attendance, like comma, if any, because many people that ride paratransit do not need attendance, and just wanted to eliminate confusion for people that would read that sentence and think if you ride paratransit, you have to have an attendant.
Chair, should we have
Yes.
the public hearing before we make amendments?
I'm sorry, go ahead. What's that?
Should we have the public hearing before we make amendments?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're correct.
So exciting.
All right. Well, hold on to that, Maddie. So I'll open the public hearing, and Eileen, would you take over, please?
Yes. So this public hearing is for the appendices for the comprehensive plan update. There are no attendees, so we'll move to those online. If you wish to speak on this topic, please raise your hand. Seeing no hands, Chair.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing. And now, Maddie, I just recommend those 2 words to eliminate confusion, that special transportation needs, people don't necessarily have or need an attendant. So, and is there anybody have any comments on it? Do we need it? I don't think we need a vote on it. I think we can just have this changed. But
I'm comfortable with it. Oh, Mark?
Well, I was just gonna say, Mr. Chair, on these kinds of things, if instead of having motions, I would just, maybe you could ask if anybody has any objections, and if there's no objections, then
okay,
yeah.
thank you.
All good.
Okay, are there any objections?
Didn't have a second, so.
Okay. Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, in the same section, I have a question on page A15. At the very bottom, urban community forests.
Yes.
On the third line, it says areas occupied or potentially occupied by trees. And wouldn't by definition a forest need to have trees? Or am I misunderstanding that?
That's great. This is taken straight from the RCW, and we do have some new land use regulations, I believe, in the, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, the environment and the rural lands element that specifically talk about urban and community forests. So while that makes sense to me, I wouldn't advise revising this because I wouldn't want it to intentionally cause an error in one of the other chapters.
Okay.
It's the other chapters. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, can I add to that?
Go ahead.
This was some new language that the legislature passed, as a part of HB 1181, the climate bill. And I think in chapter 9, right, we mapped, the UGAs that had tree canopy that was sort of connected to this, but there's no other statutory guidance at this point to do anything from a regulatory standpoint. It was just identify these things. So what I understand from the legislature is typically what they do in this case is they're kind of doing this incrementally. So they want to sort of have communities map these things, designate them, and that's all. And then at some point, the intent would be the legislature would give us further guidance on what to do with these urban and community forests. So that's where it's a little awkward right now. It's like it's just a thing, but it's not really a thing from a regulatory standpoint. But it seems to be the intent is to promote additional tree canopy in the future to address climate change. And so we would anticipate in the future that the legislature would be passing additional legislation that would direct us on how to do that. So that's why the language says potentially occupied by trees, because I suspect what we're going to see is some promotion of incentives or regulations coming out of Olympia in the future that would promote planting more trees. Does that make sense?
Got it.
You can't see it.
Oh, there we go. Commissioner Van, first I got to hand over Commissioner Van Dalen and then Commissioner Hanson. Go ahead.
This will take less time than acknowledging me. They call it reforestation because the whole county was forested before the settlers got here.
Except for the glacier sound.
Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, one more in the definition section on page A11. It's on net zero, which was also one of the comments by Commissioner Dunn. In building, we use net zero to refer to houses that are producing electricity. So I think that Dan's comment of either changing this definition or changing the title to net zero emissions would alleviate some confusion.
That would make sense.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yes, I did talk to Lauren Clemens, the climate manager, about the proposals that came in this afternoon. She's planning on attending the Tuesday Planning Commission meeting. She was hoping to address the climate-related glossary items till then. I don't feel comfortable talking on her behalf and amending her, definitions. I'm happy to document it here so we don't forget where it is. But she was hoping we could delay talking about the climate ones until Tuesday.
Fine with me.
We have plenty to do on Tuesday.
No, I got a bunch of them. There's somebody else wants to go that otherwise start plowing through.
Go ahead, Commissioner Dunn. Let's take several of them and then take a pause and see if someone else has one to put in. Go ahead.
Sure. Sounds good. Maddie, is it easier, this is Dan, is it easier, for me to just verbally say what they are, starting from the top? Or do you wanna put up like side by side my motions and write suggestions and the text?
Let me try to share both. 1 second here, because I
Right
do
on.
have them.
Right on.
Can you see them both?
They are tiny.
If you get rid
Oh,
of the
no.
face.
Okay. Let me see. It might be easier for you to verbally say them, and then I can just document them in the document. Let's see here.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Alrighty, so starting from the top, and this is a broad general one, in all the definitions, especially new ones, remove the refers to or the word means at the beginning. That's what the colon is, so when you say a word, you say like climate adaptation means da da da. If you have a climate adaptation and then a colon, and then you also say means, like the colon is taking the place of the word means. So you say climate adaptation, a process that da da da, whatever, that kind of thing. So my first motion would be to remove the refers to and the means at the beginning of each definition.
I'd be fine with that.
Great.
No motion needed.
Okay. I'll just say passes. That's cool. Excellent. The next one is on active transportation. And my question on that definition is, where does a bicycle end and a motorcycle begin? In the definition, you have included devices irrespective of wheels and with devices with motors. And I've seen some bicycles that can go 40 miles an hour being ripped down the street by 12-year-olds that feel more like motorcycles than those. Would it be reasonable to change that definition slightly to include, I don't know if there is, you might recommend some language, if there's some like definition of like what's a bicycle versus what's like a full-on like motorcycle?
Well, I think this term is actually getting to a group of users regardless of what they're actually on. You might want to address something like that as it relates to the facilities portion, because in, like, say, bike lanes, you probably don't want electric bikes that can go beyond a certain speed to reduce the conflict. But the first one is really about active users in general.
So would you say that a person riding a motorcycle is an active user?
No,
No, okay. So where, how do we end? So in this definition, how do we say a motorcycle is not active transportation, but
where I would cut it off is, you really shouldn't have a bicycle that has a throttle rather than pedals. So human power is what this is kind of referring to. So a bicycle that still has pedal capability, even if it has electric assist motor, is still considered active transportation.
okay, so for you, it would be as long as it has pedals, you're good to go. Or 300cc motor on that sucker, and
Yeah,
but you got pedals.
If you're doing this and not pedaling, that's a bit about.
I guess back to the commission.
And Maddie, you had your hand up there.
Great. There is an RCW definition for motorcycle. It might be easiest to just include that in the glossary. But I get what you're saying. I do see a lot of bicycles that go very fast now. So,
Well, I will just say, and I don't mean to interrupt, but this is actually coming up increasingly in the work that I do in lots of different communities, the electric bicycle thing. And there's several classes of electric bicycle depending on the power that you have on it. And the federal government, it's like, it breaks it down, I think, into 3 different classes of electric bike, and then you move up into the electric motorcycle range. And in bicycle lanes on the street, designated bicycle lanes, I think it's only class 1 and 2 or something like that are allowed. And the top speed is something like, it's like 20, low 20s.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fast on a bike.
Yeah, I can do that. Downhill.
Commissioner Van Dalen.
I can agree with that, because mine's a class 3 and can go 28 miles an hour. So with throttle, pedal assist, electric bike. Yeah. Totally jives, but I can't go where it says class 2 only.
Right.
Yeah. So there's some communities that are now seriously contemplating, how do we deal with this? How do we reduce the pedestrian bicycle conflicts that we're seeing? Because, you know, there's a big enforcement issue, and bicyclists can they can choose to ride wherever they want. And unfortunately, even though they're not mostly supposed to be on sidewalks, some choose to ride on sidewalks, and it creates problems. So that's what we were talking earlier, that term above is really about what active transportation represents versus how it's used in the facilities that are designated for it.
Yeah. What if we put in, after, somewhere in there, after bicycles, whatever, excluding motorcycles with an RCW definition, or including class 1, 2, and 3 bicycles? Because I mentioned class 3 bicycle, like a motorcycle is not a class 3 bicycle, distinct or different things.
Yeah, I think you can do whatever you want that makes sense, but you know, include something like the words pedal assist somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Would make it more of a bicycle.
Yeah. Sure, bicycle. So what if we just put in, so it says active transportation includes both traditional and electric assist bicycles and other devices. What on that one, electric assist pedal bicycles?
Pedal assist.
Yeah, electric assist and other pedal assist devices.
Right, because we have scooters.
Where should I put that again?
Sorry,
Right there.
yeah, active transportation includes both traditional and electric assist bicycles and other pedal assist devices. Or maybe make it cleaner if you wanted to, by other devices, you meant those things like those single wheel, like skateboard things. You could say active transportation includes both traditional and electric pedal assist bicycles and other devices.
Right.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So you put the word pedal, electric, and assist in that.
And Commissioner Masseri, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with the change that just happened.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
Chris, what's
everybody okay with this? Okay, all right.
What's the big wheel one?
Uniwheel?
Unicycle?
No, it's like a big,
Skateboard, but
yeah,
those are
it's a
called-
skateboard with a big, one
They're
giant.
called one wheels.
It's called a
One wheel.
skateboard.
I've seen some pretty bad wipeouts.
At my age, anyway.
Yeah. How does that
sidewalks.
regulate
They're
it?
trying to make a left turn back.
I don't know.
So
I think I see them on the street.
Yeah, well, it would be included in this.
Okay.
this definition.
I don't know how much.
Okay, anyways, sorry,
Let's go ahead and move on.
My next one, unless anybody else has anything, is under, the definition best available science. And that is just that, Rudd had some questions and comments about that term a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to give him a chance to review this definition and see if it kind of makes sense. We got yeah.
Are you making a motion for someone else?
I'm making a motion for somebody else. I'm being like, Rudd, it's your time to shine, buddy. Get in there.
Okay, Rudd, you want to take over on that, please?
Definitely not in order.
Did we lose Rudd?
No, I'm here and
Oh, there we are.
Laughing.
was that Dominic or Dan?
That was Dan.
Well, Dan, you're doing
Okay.
a perfect impression.
All right.
I'll just let you continue.
And I gotta listen to Commissioner Hanson, and you guys are getting carried away there, and we need to keep order.
Okay, then if Rudd has nothing on that one, my next one is climate adaptation. And get down to that. Adaption, and I just felt like the definition was lacking. Current definition is climate adaptation is the process of adjusting to new conditions in order to reduce risks to valued assets, which could mean kind of anything, anywhere in the entire world. So the definition isn't really, not really useful. So it's one thing is I'd remove the is the, but the other thing is I would have a different definition. I would say climate adaptation, the process of adjusting to the current and predicted future effects of climate change to attempt to prevent harm. It references climate change says we're trying, it's harm reduction, you gotta make changes, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
it's be
Great.
And Maddie, I'm not sure who's doing the typing on it. Will you type that in on the screen there so we can see that? Just leave the one that's there and just add to it because, make a new sentence so we can see that.
Sure. I just
I
wanted
couldn't
to
quite
add that
hear-
Lauren does want to review these before the planning commission votes, hopefully, if that's okay with the commission. But I'm happy to write it here and then we can go back to it.
so we just don't vote. It's
Okay.
so we just wait to.
It's a work session. I don't know, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. I'll put the asterisk by that one, so we'll come back to it.
So does she make a note? Just what it is Maddie making a note as well?
Yeah.
So she knows
Yes.
that,
Oh,
okay.
no,
We have,
to revisit.
Oh, there we go. There's blue words all over the
Yeah,
place.
okay, nice.
we also have it on the combined list that
Okay,
was sent
yeah.
out.
Okay. I'll just read through these things, just so the commissioners kind of like, I just understand if we're on the same page or if we're whatever, then we'll give Lauren a chance to weigh in at the next meeting. Did Lauren write these definitions?
She did write these, yeah. So that's why I'd love for her to review them first.
Great, sounds good. So next one is climate element sector. Element sector,
Wait till Tuesday, okay.
and refers to categories of natural resources, community assets that can be impacted by no change. And this one, it didn't make sense to me in that the beginning definition is that it includes natural resources, community assets, and physical things. And then it lists a bunch of things that are not physical, like business continuity, cultural practices, and community well-being. So I think if you were to change this one, like, are we talking about physical buildings, infrastructure, historical places, or are we talking about like very broad, like kind of like everything?
Rewrite.
Yeah, it's kind of worded weird.
But yeah, so I'll put an asterisk by that one. Unless there's any conversation, we can move on to the next one, which is also climate one. Sure. The next one is climate impact. Current definition is the consequences of realized risks on natural and human systems where risks result from the intersections of climate-related hazards, including extreme weather, climate events, exposure, vulnerability. And I thought a better one for that would be a definition that is the wide-ranging effects, both positive and negative, that long-term changes in climate patterns like warming, altered rainfall have on natural systems, ecosystems, water and ice, and human society, health, food, infrastructure, and economy.
Oh, sounds good. That's fine.
Okay, sweet, great.
Just wait for Lauren, no?
Yep, I'll put some little things there. But I'll pause it if anybody else has any motions or whatever in this section.
I'd say keep cranking.
Keep cracking, great, sweet, sounds good.
Yeah.
Next one is
Section.
decarbonization. And for this one, let's see, the definition currently is refers to human actions to reduce carbon dioxide emissions from human activities. To me, decarbonization also includes some very like early stage technology to actually remove carbon from the air. So both reducing carbon and then also removing it. So I would add that.
One comment there is,
Yes.
trees remove carbon from the air.
Yep.
That's true.
What about potential trees?
Oh. It's right.
How about urban?
Potential trees in urban forest areas.
Urban.
Potential decarbonization.
Potential decarbonization, yeah. Okay. My next one is drought. And current definition. And so like I think for some of these things, like there's already definitions out there, so it's like, let's just do the commonly accepted definition. Current one says drought means an exceptional period of water shortage for existing ecosystems and human population. My definition is drought, a prolonged period of abnormally dry weather caused by a lack of precipitation, rain or snow, leading to significant water shortages and widespread impacts on agriculture, ecosystems, economies, and human health, manifesting in failing crops, low water levels, and potential emergencies.
Comment on that one is another big driving factor in drought is too much rain on snow in the winter, causing to decrease snowpack. So I think I agree it needs to be rewritten, but you might want to take that into account.
Yep. Yeah, the question, like in this one, the question is a drought specifically rainfall related? Or could a drought be aquifer related or river level related? So could you have a drought of aquifers of that different kind of thing? So for that one, I don't know if that's specifically a climate one. Maddie, do you want us to wait on that one for Lauren?
That would be great. A lot of these are climate based.
That makes sense. It's a new chapter.
Definition they use. It's probably a legal definition they use when they declare a drought.
That's what I was trying to find. Yeah, it's a common thing. There's definitions for it. Next one is for EDI. This is not a climate one, so we can vote on this one right now. The EDI program, the current definition is synonymous with rural sales tax program which authorizes Whatcom County to retain a portion of sales tax to finance public facilities authorized under RSW 2.14.3. I would say we are now allowed to do affordable housing there as well. So I'd say I would add in sales and use tax to finance public facilities and affordable housing authorized under.
Yeah. Maddie, go ahead.
I looked up the RCW and I think that that's fine. It does include affordable housing projects. So I included that language as Eileen has it on the screen there, including affordable housing projects.
That looks good. Done it.
Any objections?
I think she already just did it.
All right. Cool. Next one is about emissions. And yeah, currently says you can read up there on the screen. Release substances. And my change would be to say the release of substances, primarily greenhouse gases and particles in the Earth's atmosphere, primarily as a result of human activities. The current emissions. Yeah, the current definition means the release of climate altering gases and aerosols into the atmosphere from human and natural sources. So we can keep that one later. My next one is on the definition of low income housing. The current and I think this is an older one, probably from a while ago, an old definition. But the current definition is the federal government defines low income housing as housing provided for individuals earning 50% or less of the average family wage of the local jurisdiction. And that is incorrect because HUD uses median household income or AMI, depending on how you do it, but the average family wage doesn't exist. And they don't have a definition for low income housing. Yes, madam.
Yes, I thought you were talking about low income households. So that's why I said, suggest not amending this, but I see there's a different one. So it makes sense to take out the old one. So
excellent. That sounds great. Yeah, and there are a couple of different low income items, so you're correct. Yeah, so I think for that one, I think it's not related to climate, so we can talk about it now. So if we're gonna have a definition, we can either just remove this. Like, do we know? It's kind of hard to search the whole comp plan. Do we use this phrase in the comp plan?
Housing element?
Well, specifically the phrase, quote, low income housing.
Sure we do.
Or do you use affordable, or both?
Well, yeah, we use several different.
Okay, so we want to have a definition for it.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So then my suggestion was to use the two definitions that we have already, that we've already defined in these definitions, and to say it's affordable housing, we've already defined, that is affordable to low income households and very low income households, which are both phrases that we've already defined.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I'd like to research this just a little bit more because I know the RCW does have some definitions for affordable housing and I want to make sure that aligns. So maybe we can review that on Tuesday as well.
Back to Tuesday.
Great, sounds good. I'll put some
Which year?
Great.
Hopefully 2025.
My next one is net zero that Dominic covered, and we're doing that next time, I think.
Yep.
Tuesday, great. Next one is about open space. The definition. O means any undeveloped land area accessible to the public, which can include both green spaces and non-vegetated areas such as plazas, and it says, well, all green spaces are open spaces. Not all open spaces are green spaces. And I think to me, that's not quite correct because green spaces as defined in the definitions do not have to be public, but open space, as we've seen in our open space applications, does. So the statement that all green spaces are open spaces is incorrect.
Go ahead, Maddie.
This is another one I'd like to review on Tuesday with Lauren because we do have a new definition for open space land. So I want to make sure we understand the difference between the two, and I understand it as well. So I'll add a comment to look into that more.
Commissioner Hanson has his
Commissioner
hand
Han-
raised.
Yes, Commissioner Hanson, go ahead.
I have a comment or a suggested change related to this area where we're talking about defining open space, and later when we're talking about criteria for the open space program, that we specifically add forest canopy as part of the criteria. And the reason is there's a public benefit, as the climate chapter and the other forest documents show there's a net benefit of forested area above just for endangered species or what have you.
Okay. And Commissioner Hanson, where would that go there? Is there a specific spot, or would you like that note?
I sent that in, I believe, but I didn't bring my notes. I was grabbing my hearing aids and I forgot to grab my folders. So there we go.
Oh,
Go ahead, Maddie.
if that helps.
I thought that was meant for the bibliography. That's a reference to that plan. So I'm happy to add that to the bibliography.
Okay. It may not be pertinent there, then I'm sorry. I get them mixed.
Yeah. Maddie, where would that go?
This was bibliography.
That would go in Appendix D. So I thought we'd just go in order tonight because I figured that would be the easiest.
Okay.
Remove that appendix.
Am I seeing another hand up there? Commissioner Dunn. Commissioner Dunn, do you have more here?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. So my next one is per capita vehicle miles traveled. The definition includes number of miles traveled using cars, light trucks, calendar year divided by the number of residents in Washington. So do we only calculate this for Washington State, or do we calculate it for Whatcom County as well? Or maybe that's the one for.
Can you see her response though? She does have a response up there on the right.
Okay, through Washington, it's just about that. Okay, sweet. Oh, great. Excellent.
I would just like to point out though that in the EIS, there is county derived vehicle miles traveled data from the COG model.
Yeah, it's a valid point. I like the fact that it calls out Washington when per capita vehicle miles traveled is just a concept that's not location specific. It's a good one. We'll discuss it Tuesday.
So if we just, I would say just removing the word in Washington, the concept of sound, okay, sure, okay. Is that a Tuesday one then?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one is for the word productive.
So it's just funny.
What are you laughing about?
I mean, it's just funny. This is a definition of the word productive. It's
Well,
Okay.
your productive is different from my productive. We should
No,
agree
no,
on
I get it.
productive being.
It's just like, you know,
She's
most
got a response for that
totally.
too.
Does she? Okay.
I'm just laughing because a lot of these are like, you know, larger terms. And productive is just like in the dictionary, so it's just funny what a dictionary term is in here.
All right, so,
Sorry.
we're kind of talking four at once, I think.
Yes.
And it's okay for one, everybody went quiet. It's okay to have one talk at a time.
I nominate Rudd to talk because I just figured that'd be a good. Just kidding. So mine was producing or able. That's the one you got up there. Producing or able to produce large amounts of goods, crops, or other commodities. Able to be economically producing or able to produce large. Okay, yeah, great. So that should.
Sorry, should we say productive land? So that be what it is? As a definition?
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like I'm sometimes productive, sometimes not.
Right, but this is clearly only talking about one.
Yeah, but I'm
We're not talking about humans.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
So yeah, could we add, could we just say, in the definition, could we say productive lands?
Commissioner Hanson.
Just a suggestion for Commissioner Dunn is maybe the quantity isn't an exclusive criteria, because you could have small quantities of very, very valuable agricultural things, say certain kinds of mushrooms. Or, I mean, so it seems like the economic value rather than the gross quantity would be more of an indicator.
Yeah. Or,
blueberries, very valuable per acre, for instance.
right, if you're gonna mine gold or something, right, they'll produce, economically,
you just take out large amount of.
yeah. I think you can say. Go ahead.
Maddie, go ahead and jump in there.
Right, like somebody already said, I'm not quite sure what the intent of this definition was, if it's just from the dictionary so I'm happy to do more research and come back with it on Tuesday as well. Try to find an RCW or where it actually is cited in the comp plan.
Okay. So Mark, clear out Tuesday, because apparently we're just gonna be doing definitions.
We'll add it to the agenda.
Excellent. Great, next one.
Retirement.
Vulnerability, should be changed to climate vulnerability, because vulnerability, I feel vulnerable sometimes, but I don't meet the definition that's had here. So we'll just address that on Tuesday. That is all for the definitions that I have.
So it's just quick request, I guess, to staff on the definitions for Tuesday. If Lauren and Maddie and team can just bring, based on the comments here from Commissioner Dunn, exactly what you think the new definition should be on Tuesday. And ideally, that means they're pretty non-controversial and we hopefully can just batch them, approve them all. Yeah, but as long as we have like the exact language we want, I think it will survive Tuesday.
Well, hopefully, both Lauren and Maddie can add the comments to this document and I can send it out before the meeting.
Even better.
Yeah.
Maddie, go ahead.
I'm happy to do that.
Yes.
No
Yes.
problem.
Okay.
No, we have-
Commissioner Dunn, do you have more?
Not on the glossaries, my next comments are on the 20-year capital facilities plan.
So I have something glossary D, right?
Appendix D,
Oh,
bibliography.
bibliography, okay.
Dan, did you send
Go
those
ahead,
over?
Maddie.
Did you send
I was
those in?
hoping that we could go in order just to keep things organized here. So Appendix B is acronym. So I was hoping we can go over that first.
Only acronyms?
Works for me. Yes, great, yeah, I don't have anything for appendix.
Yeah, we don't have anything
We don't have
on
it.
acronyms, so we can go to the next one then.
Perfect. That is awesome.
Yes.
I
Okay.
move we strike Appendix D.
Okay, to go to Appendix D, bibliography. I just saw the one proposed amendment to add the Whatcom County Forest Resilience Plan, which I'm happy to do.
Okay. Anything else, commissioners? And by the way, when she's not screen sharing, I can see everybody's hands and everything. Well, I can't see their hands, but I can see their shoulders, you know. But and now you're only postage stamp size, and now you're really tiny.
Are you squishing our heads with your fingers?
Sometimes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, I've got stuff on Appendix E if we're ready to move to that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Sweet.
Go ahead, continue.
think,
And mine, for some reason, I feel like I had it goes up to a certain amount and then it starts over. So hopefully that's not confusing at any time. But the first one is on page E10. And I just was curious when and why we moved from a 6-year CIP to a 7-year CIP.
Oh, I can answer that. We moved to a 7-year CIP in 2024 so that we wouldn't have to update the CIP in 2025 when we were trying to update the comprehensive plan. So it's a one-time thing. In 2026, when we update the 7-year CIP, we more than likely will change it back to the 6-year CIP. And that will probably happen in the spring.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. Commissioners,
Dominic, did you have a
Go
few you
ahead.
wanted to go forward?
go ahead, Commissioner
Yeah,
Masseri.
I have more. I don't know if we want to just go through all them or if we want to just kind of go through through an order. My next one's on page E14.
And Commissioner Masseri, why don't we go ahead and go through your list for a little bit?
Okay. So on E14, I guess this one's just a general thing when we're talking about the level of service for trails and parks, and I guess it actually starts on page 13. We brought this up before that maybe these numbers need to get addressed, good or bad, deciding on if we like what they're at, if they need to be adjusted. I don't know if this is the time to do it. If this isn't the time, I'd just be curious when that time would be.
This has been a big conversation with parks multiple times, and I think that they want to address it when they update their CPROS plan, if I remember correctly. I don't have anyone from Parks Online available, but this is an ongoing conversation that they are having. When they update it, we will update it in the 6-year CIP, and then when we update this in the next cycle, we'll update that with their numbers once they make that decision.
Okay. My next one's on E16.
And Nick's got a question, if that's okay.
No.
Yeah, it's a process or procedural question. Just as an appendix to the comprehensive plan, can someone just talk me through why we have a draft capital facilities plan instead of just whatever the current active plan is? I just want to make sure I understand like what the goal is of having a draft document as an appendix to the comp plan.
That's a good question.
Well, it's updating the existing based on the new population allocations and employment allocations
So it is changing.
and capital facility plans, yeah, so various things. So that's why it's in draft form until adopted.
Okay, so do we adopt the capital facilities plan as part of the comp plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we done that yet, or is that coming up still?
That's what we're doing
Is that
now.
next
That's
week?
what we're working on.
Oh, we're literally going through the entire capital facilities plan, like,
Yeah,
all
I
of
read
it.
it.
Yeah.
I read it.
Cool, okay, that,
That great big fat thing right there.
yeah. I mean, I just thought that was like a piece that was like gonna have happened another time, and I missed it or something, okay,
Oh, no.
cool. Okay, continue, that helps answer my
Couple
question.
minutes to read the entire thing and then.
Nah, I'm good.
You good? Okay, Tom.
Commissioner
I got-
Masseri.
Yeah, I got another one on page 16, E16. And it's under Blaine Birch Bay Park and Recreation District. That first paragraph, or I guess the first blue paragraph there, it's just confusing to me. It says Blaine Birch Bay had been without and recreation operations since 1987. But then it says there's a park district that's been existent since 1979. So I don't know. I don't know what the correction is, if I'm just either misunderstanding or it needs to be reviewed, I think.
And I don't know if it's Maddie or Lucas. Can you just increase the size on that a little bit.
It's Maddie right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that now. Happy to take direction from the PC if you want to just give us direction to rewrite that better. Can absolutely do that.
Yeah,
We
there
can-
is,
We can edit that.
yeah, my opinion is that it should be reworded.
I have input.
Go ahead,
Commissioner
Commissioner
Hanson.
Hanson.
Clarifying input, because I know we have a county park and the old Navy base there. It could be outside of UGA, but it serves that population, so that might be rolled into referencing it.
And I think the question I have is there is a Blaine Birch Bay Parks and Recreation, and so I just want to ask, because you know the question came up, where does that fall in there in that paragraph? I thought it was in the paragraph, but then there was some discussion that it might not actually mean what I think it says.
I'm sorry, can you clarify the question?
Well, yes, actually, if I could see it again, I would, just that one. And it says the Birch Bay, Blaine Birch Bay area. I see that's been crossed out. So Blaine Birch Bay Park and Recreation District 2, pending in existence. And okay, and this is just a change to describe them as then what this paragraph is.
Yeah, it's from
Okay.
their master plan.
Okay.
That was updated in 2022. So it's their wording.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And I got a question on that. So I guess if you could, maybe somebody could tell me what we're trying to say here. So is it like that the Birch Bay area has not had a formal plan since 1987, which would imply that there was a formal plan before 1987? Or is it that there has never been a formal Parks and Recreation operation?
So I think that I'm not positive on that, but they've been in existence. The district has been in existence, but they may not have had a plan. Well, it looks like they had updated it in 2022, but the entity could have been around before they had the plan.
So you might word it as, just starting with the second sentence, the Blaine Birch Bay Park Recreation District has been in existence since 1979. They have not had a formal Parks and Recreation operation. So what happened between 79 to 87? Was there a 10-year period there where there was a formal?
Yeah, so I think, Lucas, you just need to clarify with the district and fix that language so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
Their language, it doesn't really flow very well.
That should make sense.
Got a
Dominic.
question.
And Lucas, one comment on that, and not to be included in the final draft, but Blaine Birch Bay Parks and Recreation has a significant calendar each year, and it is consistent. And it may not be laid out as this is our formal what we're going to do every year, but they are consistent with what they do. And just to make sure that that's clarified, that it's not, you know, fly by night at all. It's pretty organized. Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, I got a couple more. I'm also happy to defer to others if we want to take turns. I got three more.
Well,
but
go ahead, Commissioner Masseri.
Okay, so I'm going to call this
I got just a quick one about trails, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's there's some movement, there's some discussion about the Mount Baker Lake Whatcom Trail again, which I think came before us maybe a while ago. The idea being that you go from like Mount Baker through kind of following down, I guess, the 542 and do some DNR land, then to Lake Whatcom and then around Lake Whatcom. I think generally we were opposed to that. I forget the details though. That has sort of come up again in a different committee. Could somebody, maybe staff, remind me why that trail is not feasible?
It's not, I don't know that it wasn't feasible, it was, portions of it are.
Oh, the
State land, portions of it are on federal land, portions of it are on county land, and portions of it might be on private land. And the group that was proposing to map it as a complete trail, Parks looked at that and reached out to all those other agencies and could not get confirmation that there was public access. And that trail actually existed and was maintained, so it's that kind of an argument. Okay, yeah. Nobody opposes the fact that it oughtn't all be done and be a great trail, it's just pieces of it are sort of not all.
Saying that it currently exists would not be correct.
Correct.
They got it. But no opposition to like, hey, if in the future, this might be a good idea to.
Yeah.
There's a landowner that owns part of the old railway right away that would have to be used that is adamant about it not going through.
On the north side of the lake. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, and that little chunk there is like, nope.
put a fence up.
Sorry, Dominic, thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, so in my packet, it goes up to 49 and then it starts back over. So I'm now in the second set of numbers and I'm on E24. And it's under future needs heading. I've got I guess, future needs under urban waters, chapter 11, urban water systems, page 24, future needs.
Here we go.
The gallons per day equivalent is crossed out and then is in parentheses with with an abbreviation. Seems like we would want to keep that. So maybe that's just a typo. And then the next is on page E28.
Yeah, the misspelling.
This one's just a question under the city of Bellingham. It's discussing their water, and it mentions Lake Patton is a source of municipal supply for the system. Where is that water drawn out, and where is that supplied to? Wasn't aware of it.
That's hard. That's about 50 years out of date.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
It used to be that, it used to be the reservoir,
Okay, you back in the day.
back when I used to go there and skinny dip.
Okay, okay.
I just don't want to think about that.
Is that why it's no longer a water cooler?
That's right, no longer.
All right.
Okay, so
Point of order, that's more than we want to hear.
What was the question?
Thankfully wasn't one.
so it sounds like that's just maybe outdated information.
That believe comes from their updated Bellingham water system plan. I can look that up and get back to you on that. They have the most updated water system. It's still in draft form, I believe. But I can certainly call someone over there and ask if they still draw water and where that source is from.
From the Middle Fork? Yes,
Lake Patton.
It says that they draw water out of Lake Patton.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they did that.
So yeah, if you just confirm that, if their plan's incorrect, that's one thing. If we don't need to put incorrect stuff out. And then my final one's on page E89.
What section?
Of E.
Yeah.
89 it's in the charts under transportation funding.
Oh, but you're under chapter 16.
It's figure 16.5.
Yeah, it's the REIT, Lucas.
Almost there.
Yeah, that one right there. I just thought it looked really optimistic. The rest of them kind of acknowledged that things go up and down, and then kind of was averaging them out. But that one just seemed really optimistic for me.
Yep, we're pretty optimistic here.
Commissioner Hanson.
With affordable housing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Do we think that's realistic, or?
I don't really have much to contribute here. The data for the charts came from Whatcom County Finance.
Lucas, can you follow up with finance on that?
Yeah, I can follow up with
I think it was
with finance on that.
Yeah, draw a line in the middle. That's where it goes. See?
Right.
All right, thanks. That's all I got.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Masseri. Right.
We haven't got to the capital facilities budget yet. No.
I got a couple of things.
Go ahead.
So with the transit level of service, I think we had a proposal here that we approved, that we were gonna have like a different standards, like a gold, silver,
Yeah,
bronze.
there was a correction that was sent out. That was an oversight with
Oh, okay.
the chapter, and you should have got a supplemental piece. And if you didn't, I have the language here that I can share. Lucas, were you able to send that out?
Yep, it was corrected and we sent that out.
I gotta
And
make
here
sure
it
I-
is, corrected.
Here it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Cool.
My next question, on page 96, about the tip listing in general, it was that, is the list a priority list, like item 1 is our highest priority item, or is it just like, here's all the projects in random order, and we'll kind of get to them as we can?
You're talking about the 6-year tip?
Yeah, and I went by packet number, so I got, let's see.
Oh,
Are you gonna appendix F?
Page 96 on the packet. Let me find it here for you.
sorry, but you're on the packet, I'm on the
That's
chapter.
right. Yep, yeah. So this is page 40 of the appendix that includes the tip.
Is this in the 7-year CIP section?
The 20-year.
The chapter 9 then?
Chapter 9.
Yeah, okay.
There's the priority list.
So you're talking about the 20-year list in chapter 9. So that it's not that it's saying that the projects need to be constructed in any order. It's just that they're listed that way, and it's trying to register the long-term 20-year project need with the active transportation network, for instance. There's cross-referencing there. And it's a resource more than anything that the county can pull from, so that when they go to put together the 6-year tip, as it scrolls forward, this is the list they typically would go to look for. Now, there's also things that can't be expected, repair and maintenance kind of stuff that have to be done. But this is the list, looking at the land use and the distribution of housing and all that kind of stuff. What the county is saying is this represents the transportation needs to accommodate the level of growth that we're planning for. That's what that is. But it doesn't appear in rank order.
Right, it's not like, hey, item 1, that's our most important one, that Trade Road, we really gotta get that. No, it's just like, here's a bunch of them.
Nope.
As it comes up, you can, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Great. Next question, we've got on the 20-year, we got 68 million in active transportation, we got 350 million for roads, which comes out to about 19 million a year for 20 years. I think our road fund is about 15 million a year, but it's getting smaller, from what I understand. So I'm assuming that the list is not, we're not gonna get all this stuff done. We're just like, when money comes available, we'll do it, and a lot of the stuff on the 20 years is probably not gonna happen. Is that?
Well, so yeah, and this happens in almost every community that's doing this kind of planning. There's always more need than funding in reality. And so after you get through the charts, there's a whole section that very clearly addresses what you're asking about. What does the county do if there's not enough money to do what they say is needed? And it gives you a bunch of options. And the reality is the county is probably going to do all of the options to some degree. So at the end of this chapter, it lays out called like a reassessment strategy. And you can do things like, okay, we're going to seek more grant funding, or we're going to, pass a complete streets ordinance that makes us eligible for TIV's complete streets grant, which you're not eligible for right now. Or we're going to, raise property taxes. Those are all choices. They may not be popular choices, but they're options the county has. So it lays it all out after the charts.
Cool, that's great. On page 133 in the packets.
There.
Which is page 26. This is in the water plans section. And it's a chart where we're comparing the capital plan population with the population projections. Yep, right there. And there's a difference between the population projections and the growth projections. The capital plan is generally higher than the growth projection, but just slightly. I was wondering, the numbers we have there are from, the comment is that it's from something in 2023, 2025. Sorry, my question is, where are the numbers on the far right-hand column under the column counties 2045 population projection, growth projection? Where are those numbers from?
Those are from the Whatcom County Population and Employment Allocations by special district table. And then the name of that table is projected growth for dwelling units, households, and populations of employment 2023 to 2045.
I've seen a number of, I haven't seen that particular table, but I know that the allocations, so this is the interjurisdictional, whatever, non-binding resolution from that number?
Yes, from that.
Okay. That resolution, okay.
The blue ones?
Right.
Yeah, the blue on the right.
Hey, Commissioner Dunn, I see your hand there.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right, so that'll align with that one pretty well.
Can I just make a quick clarification? So the previous question you asked about what the options are if you don't have enough money, I just want to clarify. So that what I was referring to is in chapter 16 rather than chapter 9, which is what you were looking at. So in chapter 16, what you're looking at is the capital projects. 16 looks at the revenue. At the end of the revenue section in chapter 16, there's a section called options to increase revenue or reduce cost. That's what I was referring to, just to be clear.
Yep, yeah, and that's actually, those are like impact fees and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, totally hear you.
Okay.
Okay, great, I'm just gonna go through some water questions I had. So the PUD 1 description was pretty thin on the ground. It has described all these like different water systems and what they got, this, that, kind of thing. Is that just because PUD 1 is like its own thing and wouldn't really have any impact there, or?
Yeah, I would say they are just supply water to the refinery, and we don't really have any impact with them.
Good point.
And then in terms of potable water, it looks like from reading descriptions of each water district, with this plan, it says that every water district has capacity to meet the needs over 20 years. Is that a correct statement?
According to the GMA.
Well,
they have
could you clarify?
They have to show the ability to meet the water demand needs over the next 20 years.
I feel like I get an asterisk there. So you said they show the capacity to meet capacity according to GMA. Does that mean they actually will meet the capacity, or?
No, what he's saying is the GMA says when you're planning for that population growth and that employment growth, you have to show that there's adequate water.
Yeah.
To serve that population.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, because like in, there are a number of places, there's a number of conversations that like, we don't have enough water, we gotta reallocate water, water scarce, da, 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 whatever. And read this document saying, oh, sounds like from this document, we're okay on water capacity.
Well, I think that's an adjudication discussion, which
Yeah.
is a separate. Well, this is just.
Commissioner Hanson. Commissioner Hanson, go ahead.
What was the name of that report we got that indicated what additional capacity each water district had? And most of them had very little additional capacity, and all the rest of them were undetermined. So it seems sort of specious to guarantee somehow that all these jurisdictions have additional water capacity since they couldn't show it.
The coordinated water plan?
Yeah, coordinated water plan, basically.
Yeah, that, most of those were for the rural, smaller water associations. Some of those do not have adequate.
Right, and
Water
the
rights to
larger,
serve a build out of their.
but included the municipal ones, and they all said undetermined. But I guess that's not our jurisdiction, you know.
Well, they do they're their own water
Right.
utilities, so they do their own water planning. We don't get involved in it.
Just from reading that report, it doesn't seem like the population projections that we're having necessarily are congruent with the water availability.
So we have enough water according to this. It was interesting that it looks like there's a couple places that won't have enough sewer capacity. Said that Birch Bay will have no sewer capacity by 2032, and that Everson and Nooksack will have no capacity in 2045. And that Birch Bay and Bellingham are the only ones with updated sewer plans. Could you tell me more about that? Because they talk about potable water a lot, but obviously when it goes in, going out is just as important. Could you tell us about sewer capacity?
The Birch Bay, well, we heard a little bit about the Birch Bay Water and Sewer District during the last meeting. They're planning on updating their plan, but we don't have updated plans for them yet. When we get updated plans for from the cities and from the smaller districts, we will put the numbers back into this 20-year plan, but some of them haven't implemented their new plans yet. They're waiting for their UGA projections to get passed so that they can then plan appropriately their sewer system plans for the future.
Oh. And I might not be fully understanding, but I think the growth management hearings board is kind of looks to skew at plans that are either not complete or in draft form. We get the comp plan. Do we know, are we required to have fully complete plans when we get there?
Well, when they're adopted, yes,
Yeah.
but they're not adopted. But great, they don't know what they're planning for until they get a recommendation from you on their UGA proposal, their population proposal. All right, now we can go to our engineering consultant and say, let's do a sewer plan and water plan now. It's growth. There's a whole step process to it. But they don't spend money on consultants.
Right.
For something that might not get approved, right? So they have to wait and then finish that once they know they're gonna get preliminary, they think they're gonna get preliminary approval on the UGA population. So that's why, so they're in the works.
Commissioner Hanson, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but again, it seems like a cart and horse getting kind of confused with each other, because we don't know if they have additional capacity, demand. We do not know if they will have be able to create additional capacity to meet that demand. Yet we're in a position to approve the demand without any idea of whether they would have the capacity to meet it.
Right, so that won't happen until council approves the plan, because the council is the deciding body.
Right, yeah.
The planning commission.
Just wanted to point that out.
Commissioner Van Dalen.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing thing. All the cities that I've been associated with, it's an ongoing thing where they're upgrading, new process, we're looking at 20 years, but they haven't done that yet. Is basically what we're saying. Yeah. A lot of money.
Commissioner Rosseri, do you have any more? Okay.
Nope.
I got a couple more.
Go ahead, Commissioner Dunn.
There's a section on schools. Page 159 in the packet. With chapter 13. I guess page 52 there. And a couple of the schools had a phrase of green infrastructure. And one of them said they have green infrastructure, one said they don't have green infrastructure, but not all of the schools do. Could somebody tell me about why we include a little, like a subchapter about green infrastructure in some of the school districts, but not the other ones?
So the school districts that have green infrastructure and have it documented, we asked them all to tell us what their green infrastructure was, and when they have it, we put it in there so that we show their green infrastructure.
Okay, but like the city of Linden says, the Linden School District Capital Facilities Plan does not identify any green infrastructure, but there's still a section for green infrastructure.
We're required to report it.
Right.
You may.
But then the Meridian School District right under it doesn't have anything about green infrastructure. And then neither does the Mount Baker School District or Nooksack.
Is that because they didn't respond, Lucas?
Yeah, there were lots of non-responses. And again, this is also as the school districts update their plans, it's a work in progress as well. Similar to some of the sewer systems are continually updating things. So they could be implementing green infrastructure. And as soon as we get that information, we put it in the system.
And then on page 186, which is page 79 of the chapter, it's a couple of graphs. Figure 16.1, Walker County undedicated transportation revenue. And this is kind of similar to Dominic's question earlier. Looks like both these funding sources are just like fluctuate up and down all the time. And then we have like kind of a level and higher amount that's going off towards the future there. Are these are graphs did you also got from the financial department or?
All of the financial information is from Whatcom County.
Okay, so just call Rain Riddell and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Let's scrap this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who can predict the future?
Yeah, that's a really important point with all of this is essentially an educated guess, and it's based on historic trends and what's known with the assumption that it's projected into the future. But anything can change, and when it does change, the outcome changes. And so this is all with a giant grain of salt. It's like if things continue along the trend lines that we're seeing, this is what it might look like. However, if something changes, that line's gonna change. So it's really trying to just give everybody a heads up that this is the direction we're heading in. This is what we think it looks like.
Commissioner Masseri.
Yeah, and it took me a second, but I think I realized that the top graphs are all staying and the bottom graphs are going away. Your screen has them struck out, but our packet didn't. Just so if that was confusing to other people.
Oh, I didn't realize it. So on this page, keep top graph, remove lower graph.
Yeah, it's all of them. You'll see, because if you look at the top, you look at the dates, you'll realize that the bottom dates match the one that struck out.
Yeah, the bottom chart should all go to 2036, which is the old comp.
Good call.
You're saying in the packet when it was converted to PDF, the line out didn't come through in the graphs?
I don't see them.
Yeah, it looks like two charts. One chart has a blue line and one chart has a black line. But like Dominic said, the only difference is if you look at the dates, one is from 2045, the other is from 1993 to 2035.
Yeah, so that is the critical differentiator there is this, all the charts that go to 2045 are what will stay in the document because that's this period for comp plan.
Yeah, we might want to consider deleting all those 2035 charts in the future, so it's not confusing when we convert to PDF. Sure, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it looks like the printed versions have it color coded, but once it converted, if it's online, for whatever reason, it's not showing up. the marks. And I don't know how to change that with PDF, unfortunately.
And those are all the questions I have for the packet, because then the 7-year is unchanged, looks like.
Correct.
Okay, commissioners, any more questions, comments? Commissioner Hanson.
I have to ask Eileen if I have a couple that weren't addressed that I said I don't have a copy there on that screen. Yeah, there we go. We put that one in, but I just kind of want to know about that $13 million a year of 27% of the parks budget to clean up lead. If there's any way we could generate additional targeted revenues, help cover that. I know there's neighborhood parks districts like to pay for 100-acre woods. I just wonder if there's some way we could take a little of that imbalance out of the recreation budget. And I guess that isn't a decision we can make here, but I wanted to kind of throw it up there for people who are making those kinds of policies.
And I forwarded your comments on to the Parks Department, and they had a response that we sent back out to the Planning Commission. And in that response, they said that in the 2025-26 biennial budget, the department did make modest adjustments to increase the fees associated with the indoor range.
They're gonna reopen the indoor range next year is the plan. But the outdoor range, that's.
Well,
because
Still need cleaning.
they gotta do the lead remediation, which is gonna take.
From all the paths.
Yeah, probably the geese and the swans will take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They just cap it and make it a park. That's what Bellingham's doing.
That's all I have for the.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Commissioner Terry.
We can't really like move to approve this because there's still things laying out for Tuesday. But I don't have any other questions about the stuff. What we want to be.
Dominic Tan.
Commissioner Masseri.
Dan just said exactly what I was gonna say. Since we can't move it unless we have other stuff, we just table it till next time.
Table, that's a magic word.
There you go.
Commissioner Hanson.
I'd like to move that we table this.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to table. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mosseri,
Yes.
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
passes.
Okay. So, Lucas and Director Personius, do you have any more for us this evening?
Unfinished business.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go
you
for the
can.
unfinished business here.
And I think Eileen sent out to you guys today what's left of the proposed motions on chapter 10. And I will just say that what was left on that were Commissioner Dunn's motions. And we've reviewed all those and PDS is fine with all of those. And there's a couple of typos, there's a couple of things as a policy to add, right there at the end. And we're all good with that. And the other motion, there were a couple of questions about some typos and we can address all of those.
I guess if those are my motions, I'll move to approve my motions.
I was gonna say, is that our next, I'll second it if that's the case.
They're all, related to sort of the narratives sections, and there's only one policy, proposed new policy, and that is the very last one, 10-21.
10-15.
Well, the policy, yeah, the number, page 10-21, I guess that's over there, yeah. And add a policy 10-15, identify locations of naturally occurring asbestos in Whatcom County and assess the associated health hazards. Coordinate with the state to map asbestos deposits and condition development approvals on affected parcels to mitigate those impacts. The staff is fine with that.
So I can second all that.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Can we just scroll up to make sure I'm seeing what all the things are over there? So it's basically everything in white, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
and then Hanson added 3 more.
right. We're just talking about the done
Right.
motions.
Cool.
So if we accepted all the done motions?
We gotta vote on.
Let's
Yeah.
Gotta
let's do
vote.
it. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
let's vote.
It's a done deal. You said that before, I'm sure.
I ran for president of my dorm back in the day on that. Anyways, not done until it's done. Yeah.
Am I hearing we have a motion?
Yes, we have a motion to approve, to accept Commissioner Dunn's proposed amendments,
Okay, and do we have a second?
and Commissioner Van Dalen seconded.
Thank you. So is there any discussion, any further discussion? Right. Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes,
Brown,
yes,
Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
Yes.
Mosseri,
Abstain.
Barton,
Yes.
it passes. And then we have.
So, really.
Commissioner Hanson.
I guess I brought up 3 points for reconsideration. And you probably also can see the rationale there. And I guess these are important, and I think I will take them to council if these changes aren't reversed here. But I don't want to belabor it further if I don't have a second. So is there anyone inclined to second any of my motions?
Okay. Commissioner Hanson, are these the 3 on the screen right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Eileen, can you scroll down just slightly so we can look at 1021?
Oh, no, it's just these 3,
Yeah, you should be able to see everything.
Okay.
it's just these 3.
Yeah, I'm
I mean, I'll
only
second
seeing 2 of
this.
them on my screen here.
Right. I'll second them.
Yeah. So one at a time, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Commissioner Mosseri.
Yeah, so these are all things we've already discussed, and now we're just going to discuss them again. I kind of don't like that precedent because what stops people from just keep bringing up the same things they didn't like the way the vote was last time.
Will we vote?
Did we vote on them?
Yeah.
Or- No.
Commissioner
Yeah,
Hanson.
Well, the reason since we now have a public hearing, I believe, on this chapter, and we're getting ready to do final approval, since I thought these were significant points, I thought I would bring them up for reconsideration. And I don't believe we need to have extensive debate, but I wanted to give it one last shot.
Yeah. And I think I might have missed the meeting where this happens. This might be why I'm not remembering it. So I guess a point of order question of whether or not I'm allowed to even second a motion on reconsideration if I wasn't on the prevailing side. I don't know. Not sure the rule is when you're not present.
Not sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I got a second.
Yes, and we could say, I want to reconsider the thing. You have
Hey,
stated.
no.
I don't know if I even got a second.
Yes, I'm wondering.
Per Robert's rules, it would be the discretion of the chair, but it is, ill practice. But as overall, it is the chair's decision.
And so the motion was to reconsider?
Yes, and the question, Commissioner Greif had, Chair, is, since he was not at this meeting when the decisions were made, if it is appropriate for him to second it, since he was not present. And I said, per Robert's rules, it is not great practice, but it is ultimately the chair's decision.
Well, this is one I don't have a lot of knowledge on. Mr. Personius or anyone else have Robert's rules on this one? I mean, I know from what Eileen just said that I could say yes or no, but I'm really trying to make the correct choice.
Technically, if a motion has been passed, it cannot be up for discussion unless it has been stated at the meeting that you want to amend it at a later date. However, because all of this is just preliminary and the final comp plan has not been discussed yet, that is where it's a gray area. But technically, per Robert's rules, you cannot discuss a motion that has been passed already, passed or failed, unless amended at the current meeting.
Okay. And Commissioner Jefferson, you had your hand up.
I was just thinking at first the conversation was about not being able to second it because he wasn't at the first meeting and I was going to second it, but I'm hearing the conversation change, so I'll wait.
And Commissioner Hanson, was the motion to reconsider?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And do we have a second to the motion to reconsider?
I can do the second.
Okay. And were you at the meeting when that last meeting where?
This one wasn't last week, was it?
No, it was not. I will pull it up for now.
November 13th.
I believe I was there.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to reconsider. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Brown,
Abstain.
Dunn,
No.
Gray,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Jefferson,
Yes.
Moseri,
No.
Van Dalen,
Abstain.
Barton.
No.
That motion fails.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. And Commissioner Hanson, I know this means a lot to you, and I wish you well with the council. And is there any other business? Commissioner Messeri?
Yeah, if nobody else has anything, I'd make a motion to tentatively approve and send this on to council.
Can
Tentatively?
Yeah, we can.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I can second.
No, you got it, Scott.
Okay, I'll second it.
We're not done with this? Tentatively?
Okay.
Well,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to, and Eileen, can you restate the motion? I'd appreciate that.
To tentatively approve and move on to council.
chapter.
I might
Chapter
have
10.
I might have misspoke, Commissioner Hanson. I probably should have said preliminarily, not tentatively.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
to preliminarily approve and move to council.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, Eileen, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Dunn,
Yes.
Greif,
Yes.
Hanson,
No.
Jefferson,
No.
Mosseri,
Yes.
Van Dalen,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
it passes.
Do we have any other unfinished business?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I second
we have, okay, we have a,
Shoot. Sorry. Just, before you adjourn, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yikes.
Super Tuesday, land use element, and then Super Thursday is holiday. And then you get to go holiday break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys, super.
So next week, 2, and then the following week, none?
nothing for the following Thursday?
No, not, we won't be.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's great. Unless you guys want me.
Probably be around.
Okay, we have a motion.
Yeah, right.
Anybody object to adjourning?
No, but just if I can just point out, the reason we're not working on Christmas Day is that Mark's got another job on Christmas Day.
That's true.
Good.
Oh, it's a national holiday, I think.
It's red up
Okay.
there.
Thank you, everybody. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, commissioners.
Look at that, 8 o'clock, Mark got out for you.
Oh, my goodness.
The earliest